So, good day in each and everyone. So, we are the Group 2 and here's our presentation. And our title is about effects of absenteeism in academic performance of elementary grades. So, we, the researcher, want this study because we all know that nowadays absenteeism is chronic in different schools and universities. Also, the absenteeism can have the impact to their academic performance. So, this study can help the student to realize that the importance of attendance and to know how to deal with it. And also, as a future educator, we want to know the causes of absenteeism so that we can seek in the future the solution for it. And this study can give a big impact to our society in the near future. So before we proceed to our main study, let me introduce first the researchers. So we have Miss Bustrillo, Jhoe, and Miss Dalan, Clarisse, and yours truly, Miss Masinon, Catherine, and Mr. Togonon, Warren. So let come with us and let we introduce our main study.
So as for introduction of our research entitled The Effects of Absenteeism in Academic Performance of Elementary Grades. Absenteeism is a serious problem nowadays that affects undergraduate students all around the world, even in the most advanced grades and in spite of tight attendance standards. Students who attend class more frequently had higher levels of academic accomplishment than those who were frequently absent. According to Leslie 2004, defines absenteeism as a period when a student does not attend school will generally fall behind their classmates in their academic success. Most research on student achievement state that attending class regularly is a solid indicator of better result in terms of raising the cumulative grade point average of the student who perform the best. Achieving undergraduate students show a substantial association between exam performance and class attendance, according to prior research. According to studies, a lot of things contribute to absenteeism, including a lack of engaging interest in the subject being studied, a student mental capacity not being sufficient, and the way of teacher of not integrating the students' learning to technology, which most of the students seems easily bored while in school. So also according to Leslie 2004, she added that there are numerous risk factors that contributed to student absenteeism such as family health, low income, a poor school climate, drug and alcohol use, transportation problem, and community attitude towards education. So according to Pelivan 2006, found that the major reason by students for not attending class at lecture for school were bored at school, dislike of school, encouraging of friends, and the lack of expectation about education. So as for Sharma 2005, students who attend regularly receive higher grades than absent students. Example including performance very well in class and earning excellent exam scores. Additionally, students who attend class frequently are more likely to retain the information and eager to use the necessary abilities more professionally than the other students. There is therefore no better option than for pupils to attend classes at the various grade levels in order to improve their academic performance, while diverse aspects of self-regulated learning during in-class sessions serve as additional helpful marker for children who are high achievers. Additionally, a loss in productivity is caused by attitudes of both faculty and students toward learning, the schedule of classes and exams, the instructional materials, method of assessment, learning environment in the classroom, pressure related to lifestyle, and extracurricular activities. Additionally, according to Creed, Roch, and Gizinka, 2010, students who frequently attend class are more likely to retain the material and use it effectively throughout their lives. So, as for our research question or statement of the problem, first is the researcher wants to know how technology will affect the students' absenteeism on their academic performance. Secondly, is that the research wants to know the factors of why do students absent in the class. Third is that the researcher wants to comprehend of what will be the students' consequences on their absenteeism towards their performance in school. And lastly is that as a researcher, we want to know the impact of absenteeism towards their performance in academic.
Again, good day. I am Clarisse Dalan, one of the researcher. Now, in this section, we'll define the direct terms and provide a common or the dictionary meaning that was used in the study. The first one is the absenteeism. When we say absenteeism, it refers to the of staying away from school without providing a genuine or any reason for not attending in classes. A truant behavior of some student that negatively affects the performance among the students. Again, absenteeism is not attending to classes or school without a proper notice in schools or in teachers. The next one is the performance or academic performance. It is a range of courses engaged by their academic performance. Teacher and schools officials frequently gauge students' progress by looking at the classroom performance, graduation rates, and their test scores of the learners. And also, it is refers to the students' performance again that it requires the learners should acquire. When we say academic, it is refers to the concerns and influences students' performance in the classroom negatively. It provides the following that can affect the performances of the students, such as attendance, participating in performance schoolworks, activities, and the capacity of students to act in school. The next one is the buddies. When we say buddies, this is a close friend who is friendly and has time for others, or it will be the friend who you can call when you need some help. The next one is bullying. Actually, we heard it many times. When you say bullying, it's commonly blustering and someone who are regularly treat cruelly and insult or threatens others who are weaker or smaller or otherwise vulnerable and who are being terminated by neighborhood bully. The next one is a chronic. When we say chronic, it refers as a severe or constantly occurring. Now, in education, it just refers to the discipline that is concerned with methods of teaching and learning in schools or in school-like environments, as opposed to various formal and informal means of socialization. Absenteeism is a lot of impacts, but to define what is impact is, the impact is the activity of one object forcing its way into another, imposing its presence into another object, or having a significant effect on someone's or something. It's actually either a good way or in a bad way of impact. Now, the next one is the lack of sleep. Lack of sleep is not be able to sleep on a proper time. Now, the next one is the peer influence. When we say peer influence, it refers to the feel value or belong to the community that exerts some negative and positive impacts. Performance. When we say performance in education, it is also refers to the outstanding of students who excel in academics or doing well in their ACADS. It depends on what students achieve during the duration of their course or subject. And also, it refers to the learners who perform well and the opportunity that does impact the learner's outcome. The next one is poor facilities. When you say poor facilities, actually it's being lack of materials, unhealthy environment that basically to improve the classroom facilities that can affect the learners or being motivated to come in schools. The next one is that commonly reasons why it is the effect of absenteeism is the poverty. When you say poverty, it's a class of life of those people that unfortunate in money, basic needs, and shelter to live in their own life. And the next one is the procrastination. It is the process of postponing or delaying something. The next one is the prone. When you say prone, inclined or liable to encounter, suffer from, or do anything, usually something unfortunate or unwanted. When we heard risk, it's a precarious or condition where there is a danger is present. The next one is suspension. When you say suspension, is the monetary impediment of anything continuing, being forced, or having a impact. Now, technology, actually, we heard it many times what this technology is. Now, in education, this refers to the technological movement of every child in the classroom, school, and school direct, and more. Having a laptop or a device in the class to manipulate to the learners with it as a tool. Now, nowadays, it's a very reliable, especially in education, technology with different digital devices. As I stated above, it's like this laptop or cell phones or other digital device that can help the students improve their studies. The next one, or the last one, is the truant behavior. When you say truant behavior, it means that going to school for a whole day and not listening or engaging in school's activity. Basically, it's not attending in class. Now, for our significance of this study is important for all of schools, parents, and teachers, and eventually all over the world. Since here we can ensure the causes of the effects of technology, the impacts and its consequences of absenteeism. The teachers and the learners may both benefit from facilitating the attendance because of the learners who are consistently attend in school have much more academic success. Now, identifying high-risk kids and the most common reasons for absence aids in developing evidence-based solutions to attend these issues. Early problems detection is essential for the success. In that case, it is easier to resolve and to find out the solutions. And in this study, it is a great tool to raise awareness for the teachers that not all the learners are just want to absent, but they are experiencing some problems in different aspects of their life. Now, also by the conducting this study, the teacher will know what to do in regards of the students who always absent, and when the teacher can give the students who always present their credit for their punctuality. Scope and limitation. Here in this study, focuses on how to determine the impact of the absenteeism in academic performance of elementary grades, and this study was conducted in the first semester of school year 2022 to 2023. This study wants to know the effect of technology and absenteeism towards academic performances, factors why students tend to be absent in classes. If they know the consequences of absenteeism towards academic performances, the learners will be acknowledged about this study. Also, this can consist of experiences and knowledge that the facts about the experience of elementary grades in absenteeism towards academic performance. The researchers knows that this issues is sensitive and it's demand in different countries. And also, the researcher or we as a researcher fully respects the privacy of the students or author who made this study's work. The opinion and experiences of the author of the study and article that we use here is fully appreciated and respected by the researcher. This chapter included the review-related literature and studies which are the researcher wants to know the effects of absenteeism in the academic performances of the elementary grades. Now, according to the different findings in technology and education, it is a rather phenomenon in the educational world which are needed for the students. It needs to be introduced carefully and with consideration. Technology, being laptop or devices, should be seen as tool and not be a replacement of best practices for teaching in the classroom. As we know, the technologies are more advanced rather than its usual of its uses in some part of teaching and learning practices. It is a great tool to spread knowledges. However, it should be noted that the technology is just a tool to help your work easier or much better. Technology devices such as laptop or television could help teachers and learners, but since it have a big part of teaching, it shouldn't be the center of the education. The teacher in the classroom must understand how and why students are motivated to learn to avoid the absenteeism of the students in any cases. In her study of Spears 2012, cited by work of Keller, explains that the attention, relevance, confidence, and satisfaction are also known as the arcs, are the 4 characteristics ones need to establish in order for the people to motivated to learn the students' improvement in academic performance and refrain them to absenteeism. When we say attention, it means the act of directing the mind to listen or see, understand, or notice, or paying attention into something or someone. While relevance means the connection or connected to develop the relationship between the learners and the teachers. So, this study of Spears and Keller is interconnected and helpful to develop the learners and advantage to teachers, and it becomes an awareness. The study was powerful and should be acknowledged. Since we knew what is the attentions and relevance, we should proceed to the confident. Confident means you can conquer everything and face it. While the satisfaction is a pleasant feeling or an achievement, when the learners succeeded, the learners become motivated. In other study of technology implementation in Texas, according to Shapley of 2011, noted that technology immersion had a positive effect on students' technology proficiency and frequency of their technology-based classes, activities, and small group interactions. With more and more emphasis being placed on students' learning and achievement on their performances, schooling are looking at making changes and immersing students and teachers with technology to refrain the responsibility to train and uphold high standards of learning with both teachers and the learners or the students. Learners nowadays are very familiar to use the technology. As the state above, it will be a great tool to encourage the students to come in school every day and to become motivated and not to leave the school. As we knew, absenteeism have a lot of effect on students' performances and as well as the lifestyle of the learners. Now, absenteeism is a problem in many schools around the world. It has a lot of effects on pupils' own lives as well as the society at large. Attending school forms an important part in the performance and achievement of primary school pupils. Now, according to Lawrence of 2014, attendance is also an important factor in school success among youth because it will be the guide or a tool to facilitate the students' activeness in school. Another, according to Copenhagen 2003, explains that absenteeism of students affect their school performances, especially when they are in groups and teamwork is expected in doing their assignments and projects. Since groupings help to develop the cooperativeness and ability to share and gain knowledge from their group mates. Likewise, the group mates will also miss the opportunity of gaining the knowledge from the absent students. Since the group activities enhances the relationship and make them more knowledgeable about the topic that is discussed. It seems that absenteeism is a great deal not only in the learners but also on the teachers that will be disadvantaged to come along to discussion within that specific day. This study is not only focuses in the learners but also on the teacher to enhance the knowledge and awareness of these cases. Factors of absenteeism in achievement. So when we say factor, it is a circumstances or fact and influences that contributes to a result or outcome. Absenteeism have a factor or many factors in achievement of the learners. According to Epstein and Sheldon 2002, indicate that better attendance is related to a higher academic achievement for learners of all backgrounds, particularly for learners with lower social economic status. It seems that poverty is indicated here. Some students are not able to attend in schools because of low income or having a problem in their family. Another, absenteeism affects students' learning, their test scores, and social development in this study of Spradlin 2012. Absenteeism is one of the great factors why the students are having a bad mark or grades and become a result of a slow progress in their academic. Absenteeism affects teachers' ability to adopt the curriculum requirements and instructional activities both for the present and absent students. It is according to GAPTA 2014. So, students miss valuable information when they are absent from classes. They also miss the interaction between teachers and benefits of specific examples that are used to clarify the difficult concept. So, interactions between the learners and teachers are able them to ask on what particular part of a discussion is being difficult to understand. So, however, when the student is absent or he or she cannot ask for those lessons, that's not clear for them. Students who attend class regularly are more likely to remember well the information and apply the knowledge effectively. Those are some of the advantage of being present in schools that the learner should aware about the given or the negative and positive effects of being absent or present in class. Now, according to Thompson 2008, poor school attendance lowers the literacy and numeracy rates of any country. Performance of students become prominent and effective when they attend the class on a regular basis, and it has a positive impact of their performances. Students who attend the classes on a regular basis get higher grades and marks in the examination than those students who are not present or absent from their classes. Absenteeism affects performances. Now, moreover, learners who frequently absent from school are at the risk of dropping out and early and becoming unemployed in the long term, as it will be difficult to secure their decent job without a proper educational background. It is according to Auditor General of Victoria in the year of 2004. This study is also aiming the future of the learners. As the Auditor of General Victoria said, it will be difficult to secure a decent job without a proper educational background, because education is one of the key to become a successful person. So this study will focuses on the factors on why learners are intend to absent and answering why those factors are still occurring in the life of the students until in this present time. Some findings or proof are able to identify by the different researchers and answer the factors of absenteeism. Since, according to the vocabulary, absenteeism is a word for habit of being absent. If you miss a week of schools, absenteeism has become a problem. Absenteeism can be like a contagious like a disease. Sometimes entire schools have a problem with absenteeism. If there's a good excuse for the absences, like a serious illness, it's not absenteeism. However, many researchers are still making a study in this situation in what are the factors could be on why the learners are intended to absent. Many of us is aware on what is the factors of why the learners are intended to absent. Now, learners have many reasons why they are not attending to class or a sudden change of mind for not attending to their classes. Those reasons or factors will enable us to understand the learners why they are intent to absent. Now, it may affect in their psychological or mental skills, economical and physical skills. Those disadvantage will lose the motivation to focus on the learnings that the teacher giving to them. As the states above, many reasons why the learners are intent to absent, that is with a acceptable reason. This situation is not new to everybody, and it is like a chronic illness that cannot find a right treatment. A chronic is a continuing or occurring again and again for a long time. It is easily continue if the problem cannot resolve quickly. The absenteeism of learners can be occurred when they experience stress through financial problem, family problem, bullying, poverty, and more. Since these factors are affected the life of the learners, it must take a proper research or findings to find it reasonable why they are not attending to the class for a long period of time. Since this is not just only their opportunity to absent in classes. The reasons or concerns that indicate as the factors of absenteeism is serious and should be examined first before it becomes worsened. factors and its influences through the learners. Factors may affect the daily life of a person's life. Probably, those factors can avoid if there's a determination to change. Changes starts from ourselves and striving for changes to have a better life that leads to a good path. Those good paths lead us on a succession that the same thing to the learner's goals. After they leave they face the struggles to wake up early, to go to school every day, making assignments, arguing to their parents every day, every time they talking about the school's happenings or the activities. The sacrifices that the learners to attend in class every day. However, if the learner is suddenly lost or unreachable and not attending to the class because of the sudden happenings in her or his life, many questions are able to answer on the facts on why the learners are intended to absent in a long period of time. Factors are also man-made that human can also solve those problems because of their ability to understand their own situation. Now, these factors can affect through their psychological and emotional skills. It means they are affected through their surroundings that influences their emotional states. And also, it is pertaining to mind or mental phenomena as the subject matter of psychology, pertaining to or dealing with or affecting the mind, especially as a functional of awareness, feelings, or motivation. Since we use the definition of psychological or mental that may affect the skills and knowledge of the learners. In the other side, it also have the factors in our economical. Either it may be global aspect too, since it will become an issue to the future learners as for the basis na to attend or participate in the class as a proof of according to the findings from the Investopedia, that countries with the greater portion of their population attending and graduating from schools see a much more faster economic growth than the countries with less educated workers. So, in the current year, many of learners are dropping out of school because of the pandemic started. Learners are not able to enroll or dropping out as the COVID-19 pandemic start. It becomes worsened and the learning loss of children globally. Emerging the data from the Philippines, the number out of school youth rose on the onset of pandemic. It is become 16.9% in January 2022, 25.2% in 3 months later in the April 2020, based on a study released by the U.S. Agency of International Development on November 2022. The pandemic started a lot of learners are dropping out or not enrolled of the year 2019 to 2022 is one of the great factors why the learners are not attending class or being long away from educational attainment that they needed. Now, according to the Executive Director of UNICEF in the Philippines, of Ms. Catherine Russell, said that when children are not able to interact with the teacher and their peers directly, their learning suffers. When they are not able to interact with their teacher and peers at all, their learning loss may become permanent. Thus, this rising inequality in access to learning means that education risks becoming the greatest divider, not the greatest equalizer. When the world fails to educate its children, we all suffer. See, the connection between the economy and the educational capabilities are still interconnected. The economic growth is also depend on the learners' futures and how we educate the learners, even if it's a lot of factors of absenteeism.
Factors of absenteeism. Reason why students do not attend school can be influenced by several factors, ranging from the lack of community support, unsupportive school environment, family matters, bad weather, transportational problems, poor health, and peer pressure, and the addicted offered of social media. When students are absent from school, there is wide range of short-term education. Consequence, first they will miss assignment which might lead to perform poorly and out sync in a different subjects. Moreover, they will miss classroom activity which cause to tendency to be left behind because of being not involved in the learning activities. South Africa University absenteeism. By Jhoe and Severino, 2011 studying student absenteeism in South Africa University found similar reasons including the unfavorable learning environment, part-time job too much, and socialization and lack of interest in a subject. The United States toward absenteeism. The United States, between 5 and 7.5 million kids miss school frequently every year. 86% of parents agree that attendance is important for their child to graduate from high school, but nearly half think that miss 3 or more days of school per month won't significantly affect their child academic performance. Absenteeism. Student of school absenteeism. The problem of school absenteeism is acquired when some children fail to attend school regularly and their absences affect their academic performance. School absenteeism has typically being associated with student refusal to attend school or with truancy. Children who experience absenteeism. One such indicator which has recently been getting a lot of attention in wake of the passage of Every Student Succeed Act. In 2015 is student absenteeism. Absenteeism, including chronic absenteeism, is emerging as state most popular metric to meet ESA. Requirements to report a non-traditional to measure of student process of metric of school, quality of student success. Summary of findings. Teachers are more positive impact of technology than negative on their students. Researchers believe that there needs to be more research completed to determine the effect technology has in the classroom. Educators also feel that students needs more training with the provided technology to help promote their independence. Absenteeism can have a lot of big impact to our academic performance, and the teacher should know the cause of absenteeism. To confront this kind of problem, it will leave as mark to sight of the student for not capable reason to and why he or she doesn't not attend in the class. Conclusion. The student should guide and talk to the student to give them advice to feel the student they that not alone. Students who frequently miss class are likely to experience loneliness. It is an excellent method to develop relationship with regularly absent kids to meet with them. One-on-one, maintain open line of communication with your colleges so they can be aware of the requirements of absent students. Being active in school and having a good grades can you give a lot of opportunity in life.
Here's our bibliography or reference to conduct these studies to provide you a lot of information that you need. And on behalf of Group 2, I would like to thank you for listening, and I hope you learned a lot to our study, and I hope that you realize something about our study. And again, thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Bye.